23-year-old rookie Sean Brackett makes his first career AFL start for the Las Vegas Outlaws in hostile territory tonight against veteran Dan Rodabaugh and the Philadelphia Soul. It's beginning to feel like summer on the Jersey Shore, where tonight from historic Boardwalk Hall, arena football makes its Atlantic City debut. The Las Vegas Outlaws know something about showmanship as they played respectable football in their first year of existence. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Soul are retooled and refocused as they've accumulated the top record in the American Conference. Now get ready for 3 hours of hard-hitting entertainment that only the AFL brings as the Outlaws take on the Soul now. A lot of excitement here in 2015. Goes and gets it. Launches to the end zone. He'll take it for 6. Touchdown! They do it again! We are in Atlantic City, the AFL on CBS Sports Network. The 3-5 Las Vegas Outlaws and the 8-1 Philadelphia Soul. Through the season's first half, the Soul, they've been the class of the American Conference, leading the East Division 2-0 inside the division, 8-1 overall. Over in the National Conference, if the playoffs began tonight, the Outlaws would just be sneaking in. They trailed the 3-time defending champion Rattlers in the West. The Outlaws begin the night 3-5, 3-1 inside that West Division. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Brent Stover alongside Anthony Herron. You got the two gaming capitals of our country, Las Vegas on one side of the country. The other side out here, we got Atlantic City. Then about 60 miles from here, we got Philadelphia. So it's a home game for the Soul, and it's the first ever AFL Boardwalk Bowl.
These two teams, when you think about the storylines on the field, not just the players taking part, but so many of the Soul fans that we saw throughout the day-to-day made that short drive down. There's been excitement throughout the week, and storylines abound, Brent.
How good has Dan Rodabaugh at quarterback been for the Soul? 58 touchdowns and only 6 picks this season.
The heat of Dan Rodabaugh so far this season can only be measured by the Kelvin scale. He's having the year of his life on the field as a quarterback for the Soul, and there's two elements that he's executing as well as he ever has. The first one being accuracy. The way he delivers the football to receivers, whether for first downs or touchdowns in spots that only they can get, and then decisiveness in the pocket, whether 3-step or 5-step, knowing the coverage is going to dictate where he delivers the football.
Tonight we get Sean Brackett on the other side. This is his first start in relief of the injured J.J. Ratterink last week. He threw for 154 and 5 scores.
This is a pass rush from Philadelphia that can be ferocious, and so Sean Brackett finds himself in a position as an Ivy Leaguer. The guy played at Columbia. You know he's been in a lot of positions throughout his life, but making his first start as an AFL quarterback, his head coach Aaron Garcia told him one main thing: don't try to get outside of yourself. Realize that you have 4 downs to make a first down.
In his collegiate career, threw for almost 6,300 yards in the Ivy League. He'll have his hands full tonight. It's the Arena Football League on CBS Sports Network. It's the Boardwalk Bowl from Atlantic City. The Soul and the Outlaws when we come back.
Win all 3 phases. All right, we did it at the midway point last week. Let's keep it going. Can you do it 2 weeks in a row? We can. It's there. It's available. Go do it. All right? Let everybody know we're for real. All right? Especially that West Coast side. All right? This is our side. We'll get to them when we have to. Right now, let's take care of this. All right? Let's go.
We're here in Atlantic City. Come out here, have a good time. That's what people come here for, all right? Come out here, have a good time. Let's kick somebody's ass out there. All right, every play, remember what we talk about all the time. All right, it's the big picture. It's the big picture. Remember that. It's not where we are. It's not where we've been. It's where the hell we're going. In order to do that, every play, every day, just get a little bit better. All right, keep each other up tonight. It's going to be mistakes. It's going to be great plays. Celebrate the great plays. Pick somebody up on the bad ones, and let's win, man. All night long on 3. All night long on 3. 1, 2, 3. All night long.
Back inside Boardwalk Hall. Both head coaches getting their guys ready to roll, and for the Outlaws, they got off to a nice start, 2-1 in their first year of existence, but it's been mostly a struggle since week 3. So check in for the first time tonight with Steve Pappin.
Hey guys, thank you. I'm here with Dan Rodabout, quarterback at the Philadelphia Soul. Dan, you lost 2 key components in the offseason, but you're still putting up MVP-type numbers this season. What has your approach been without those key losses?
You know, we got a lot of love and respect for anyone who's played on this team and contributed as much as some of those guys have that left in the offseason. But, you know, it's our job, and we got guys who work hard at it and are dedicated and working hard in the film room and the weight room. And I just got to do my job and get the hand of all the playmakers. Okay, thanks a lot, Dan. Good luck to you in the next game. Back to you guys.
Whit Dolzell, former quarterback in this league, 3rd season with Philadelphia, 4th overall as a head coach. 41-26 with the Soul, and they have got it rolling right now. And we talk week in and week out about the fine line in these games, but the ball seems to be bouncing their way every week. And then last week, you just had one of those fun ones. We absolutely drilled Tampa Bay, 71-27, worst loss in Storm history.
You very rarely see that in the Arena Football League. It happens on occasion, especially when a team is as hot as the Philadelphia Soul has been.
Running clock until the last minute of each half. The field 50 yards by 85 feet. No punting, no outside stunning or twisting. The ball off the net is live, and one wide out can be in forward motion before the snap.
There's a lot of AFL fans who watch this game a lot who may already know that. Some folks here in Atlantic City may be seeing it for the first time.
Nice crowd on hand. We expected 5,000, maybe 6,000 here. Gerald Young is the normal return man. He's injured. So it's Tanner Varner for the Outlaws, who takes the short kickoff out across the 5 and the 10. Tanner Varner with a flag down, spins, and gets chopped down to the 19.
Stevenson with the tackle. Flag on the play.
During the return, holding 54. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Joe Pester, our referee here tonight, so half the distance, holding on the return team. Philly won the toss, they deferred, and so Sean Brackett right away gets his opportunity in his first career AFL start.
He's a diminutive signal caller, listed at 6'1". Looking at him up close, you know, maybe he's even more in the 6-foot range, but a good thing for him, he's got a few statuesque receivers, most notably Clinton Solomon, who's in the lineup, and he's got some experience on the outside as well, so that will help bolster his performance tonight.
Jomo Wilson, the motion man. Brackett runs, and Brackett across midfield. And this is a nice aspect of his game as he gets ripped down inside the 20, but a huge gain of 26 on the opening play from scrimmage.
Had over 1,200 rushing yards during his collegiate career at Columbia. So his head coach, Aaron Garcia, said that he anticipated using the athleticism of Brackett. I didn't anticipate it being on the very first snap of the game, but when you're a guy who's known for running the football, it does get you in a bit of a rhythm, especially to be able to pick up a big gain on your first snap.
1st and 10 from the 18 of Philadelphia. Brackett throws over the middle, wide open, and a touchdown, 18 yards. And Jason Willis makes it 6-0.
It's a good-looking ball off the right arm of Brackett. He did get some time in the game last week, as we mentioned. Let's watch him here in high motion. The double move, a nice little stutter and go right there. That opens up Jason Willis to get into the paint.
Beating James Romaine, who's one of the best defensive backs in the Arena Football League. Ernesto Lacayo, the 3rd kicker Vegas has used this year, and he knocks it through to make it 7-0 on the game's 2nd play from scrimmage. And the Outlaws have been so inconsistent in their first year as an expansion team, get off to a really nice start on the road.
I like the play calls here early from Aaron Garcia because they allow Brackett to be decisive, just like we mentioned during the open that Dan Rodabout normally is. Just a QB lead where he runs the football, and then a double move route. That's stutter and go where you know who your main read is. So all you have to read is the safety. Once he bites, that's a touchdown for the Outlaws.
6th touchdown pass of the year for Brackett after 5 in relief last week. Sean Brackett, we talked about some of the numbers at Columbia. including 48 throwing touchdowns and 11 rushing touchdowns.
Nearly 6,300 yards. Multiple times was all Ivy League as a 4-year starter at Columbia. The arm strength wows everyone who gets to watch Sean Brackett throw the football in person. Watching him in warm-ups, my first time getting a really good look, paying close attention heading into his first start here. He can certainly spin the football.
Coach said we don't need him to make all the big plays. Just hit the open guy, be a little more consistent. This one taken off the net. Philadelphia gets the football for the first time and out across the 5 to the 7-yard line. That return by Larico Stevenson out of West Georgia College, and Dan Rodabaugh, you talked about it in the open, putting up MVP type numbers.
At this point in the season, if I had a vote, I would certainly say Dan Rodabaugh is the MVP of the Arena Football League. Those 58 touchdown passes, leading the AFL in passing yardage as well. He's been good throughout his career, and we've continued to mention it this season that amazingly Dan Rodabaugh's never garnered any all-arena mention throughout his career.
First play for the Soul, the motion man Marco Thomas. Rodabaugh over the top, wide open, touchdown, Thomas, 42 yards.
We're used to seeing the Philadelphia Soul come out with a lot of three-step, especially early in ball games. And Marco Thomas, you see him there in high motion. At the 5-step drop, not even a full 5, but more of a quick 5 as Rodabaugh takes, you know, it's essentially maybe 3.5 steps getting back, but knowing where he's going with the football, he's become better and better season after season at not having to be on platform to throw the football, especially deep.
Tommy Freevert, right down Maine, ties it at 7. 11:35 in the opening quarter here in Atlantic City. A flag down on the extra point, but it will count. How about this start? Both sides electrifying to open the game. Thomas with his 17th of the season. Rodabaugh with his 59th. Sean Brackett with a 25-yard rushing play to begin, then an 18-yard touchdown throw. Dan Rodabaugh on the right just gunned 142 yards to the house. And it's 7
Not a bad
apiece.
answer.
If you like arena football, heck, if you like it, or if you're new, whatever your situation is, you got to like the excitement so far tonight. And then you got one off the iron, loose in the end zone, and it's recovered. It's recovered by the Outlaws. That's the other piece, of course, of this league is if you got a kicker who's good with his accuracy and can knock it off the iron and get the funny bounce, it's open season in the end zone.
And Tanner Varner, he's had moments of being a kick returner throughout his career, certainly hasn't done it consistently. Thrust into the position with the injury to Gerald Young that you referenced, but Jason Willis, Johnny on the spot there, that's the role of the personal protector. When the return man doesn't field it cleanly, he has to be in position to ensure the coverage team doesn't collect that football.
So Vegas with rookie Sean Brackett filling in for the injured J.J. Ratterink, who's got a broken finger on his throwing hand. Brackett in trouble in the end zone. And it's called an incomplete pass.
Jake Metz getting the start at the MAC linebacker position because Bo Bell is out nursing an injured back. Clint Delzell likes the energy that Metz brings to the lineup. He's a versatile guy that can play the MAC and bring it off the edge.
And losing Bo Bell is huge. One of the best defenders in the league. He's got a back injury. And second down, Brackett guns one deep. This is the strength of his game, the deep ball, but it's incomplete. Intended for Clinton Solomon down the far boards. And good defense out there. We've talked about this ball-hawking secondary. It was Kent Richardson that time.
Kent Richardson is very good in one-on-one coverage. Love the ball delivered there from Sean Brackett over the outside shoulder. gives Clinton Solomon an opportunity. You saw there, it wasn't Richardson that got the deflection. It was the boards in the AFL that got the PB.
Richardson with 1 pick, 2 fumble recoveries. As a group, this Philly defense has 12 interceptions on the year and a +11 turnover margin. On 3rd down, Brackett slings it near boards and it's caught. And a pickup, a 1st down out to the 15 by Tyson Poots, a gain of 13.
It's a welcome sight for Outlaws fans to see Tyson Poots back in the lineup. Returned to the field last week. Just a physical receiver. You see he's got the hands there. Not the most quiet hands, but strong hands. When you throw the football near him, defenders think they've got a shot at it. Poots can rip it away.
Brackett looking good early on. Poots in high motion. Brackett gonna run again. And Brackett elusively gets out to the 21 and a penalty marker down. Holding on the Outlaws to bring that back. Starting lineup for the Outlaws offensively. Brackett there has seen him get off to a good start. And Jomo Wilson.
And Wilson leads the Outlaws receivers in most of the significant receiving categories, receptions, yards, touchdowns. Most experienced player with Aaron Garcia in that Garcia offense. Well, Jason Willis, another very experienced player, but Wilson, more in recent years, has played with Garcia quite a bit, and he knows how the coach thinks. And so Jomo Wilson's a player who Sean Brackett will need to be able to lean on to know what Aaron Garcia looks for situationally.
You carry 2 quarterbacks on the roster. Roderick is hurt. Jomo Wilson is the backup quarterback tonight. Brackett guns one, broken up, almost picked by James Romaine, who has at least 1 interception in 4 of his last 5 games. As we look at this Philadelphia defense.
The leader on the defense this season has been James Romaine, 6 interceptions on the season, an experienced secondary, but Romaine's the guy who's moved over to that middle position in the secondary. The safety, they feature him in a lot of one-on-one coverages.
That was his 13th pass breakup of the year. Also got 25 tackles. Couple of forced fumbles to go with those 6 picks that you mentioned. On 2nd down, Brackett rifles it deep. Got a man down there jostling for position. In and out of the hands of Solomon.
Well, Solomon's a physical football player. So he doesn't mind having the jostle for position, using the left hand, warding off the defensive back Romaine there. And I like the fact that the officials let this go, because you've got 2 players both battling for position. Romaine's got his hands on, Solomon's got 1 hand on as well. I think that's a tough one to try to throw a flag on either one individual. Neither one got more of an advantage than the other.
3rd down and 18. Brackett, since the touchdown throw, on the 2nd play from scrimmage, just 1 of 5. He's in trouble this time and nearly intercepted. Richardson almost had it, and Willis went into defensive mode.
And that shows you where the progression of the route tree is a bit off, because Brackett did end up just sliding the pocket a bit, but if he was able to hold the ball for just another moment, he would have seen Tyson Poots to the wide side of the field come open on the out route.
Right trips wide back, 51 double in, wide post. Right trips wide back, 51 double in, wide post. Right.
The Outlaws just 8 for 27 on 4th down this season, 2nd worst in the AFL. 4th and 18, Brackett tucks it, throws across the field, wide open. Jomo Wilson down to the 5-yard line. A gain of 38 when they needed 18 on 4th down.
Like we said earlier, Sean Brackett's got 4 downs to pick up a 1st down. You see him here using the athleticism to buy some time, and that levels concept from the double in route essentially worked out to a post look because Brackett had to hold the football, and Jomo Wilson catches it clean to move the sticks.
First and goal. Brackett 3 of 8 for 68 yards. From just outside the 5. Wilson in motion. Brackett to his big guy. And in for the score is Will Wright from 6 yards out.
Brackett's pass complete for a Las Vegas touchdown.
A very nimble rookie is Will Wright. He's operating there from the fullback position. He'll leak out of the backfield. Mentioned how ferocious this pass rush can be. Metz from the MAC linebacker doesn't pick him up. Very tough duty to rush the quarterback and see the fullback leak out. Metz doesn't have the experience to pick it up, and Will Wright is in the end zone.
Lacayo for the PAT. And Vegas leads 14-7 with 4.5 to play in the first quarter. You like it, Anthony, when the big guys leak out, don't you?
I'm all about it. 315-pounder, the rookie, Will Wright. It's not just about the little people getting touchdowns, Brent Stover. Watch Will Wright take it home.
14-7, first quarter the Outlaws lead, but they just lost what Aaron Garcia calls the ringleader, the spark of our offense in tight end Terrence Campbell.
And as we looked at the replay, I had a hard time trying to decipher what Terrence Campbell may have gotten ejected for. He's right there, engaged with the defender coming off the edge. For some reason, it's Patrick Scott. They're jostling back and forth, and perhaps there's something that happens after he's out of frame. I didn't see anything that warranted an ejection there. Who knows what he may have said to a player, to an official, I don't know. But Terrence Campbell was visibly upset as he had to leave the field.
Yeah, he got his money's worth on the way to the down to the tunnel. We were able to see the tape on that. Garcia obviously visibly angry as well. So Campbell has been disqualified. They're already missing their starting fullback, Joe Mortensen. We just saw Will Wright, the fullback here tonight, make the touchdown catch, but they got to figure out something here with the big guys up front. Larico Stevenson takes it off the net for the Soul. Stevenson stutter steps and runs. Breaks a couple of tackles, still going out to the 18. Stevenson with an entertaining return that time of 25 yards. (14-7). Stevenson good off the net for the 8-1 Philadelphia Soul. Back in Atlantic City, the world famous boardwalk. Get ready to hit the lanes for the PBR-BA Bear Open. That's the PBA Bear Open, 2 tonight, 9 Eastern, part of the Oklahoma's Grand Casino and Resort PBA Summer Swing, a CBS Sports Spectacular presentation right here on CBS Sports Network.
There's gaming in Oklahoma as well.
Yes. Yes, sir. Been fun to be. I had never been to Atlantic City before. My first trip here, and been a lot of fun the last couple of days. Tanner Audipaw, after a nice return, wide open, easy touchdown. There is a marker down, but Marco Thomas is in the end zone for the Soul. If it stands, it's 2 plays and 2 touchdowns for Philly. But never mind, take it off the board.
We couldn't quite hear Joe Beaster, but as far as I could tell, I believe it was on 21, Sean Kalina-Moku. They viewed it as a pick route. You know, we like to call it pick route from the defensive side of things.
Good job.
It took place. It was really Ryan McDaniel. They called the penalty on Kalina-Moku. Ended up being McDaniel that sets a pick for Marco Thomas. Offenses prefer to view it as a rub.
McDaniel in high motion on 1st and 21. Audipaw as they keep it on the ground this time, and a nice gain to Dameron Geralds, the 305-pounder from Ole Miss.
They've needed him to step into the lineup because Tommy Taggart, who was brought in over the offseason to replace Derrick Ross at the fullback position, Taggart's been out with an injury now. And so they've gone to a rotation at fullback between Geralds and Joe Gooseby stepped in last week, getting some reps, scoring 3 rushing touchdowns as well.
2nd and 17, and that's just the start of the stat line for Gooseby. Radabaugh guns it, caught. Kalenomoku inside the 15, inside the 5. Sean Kalenomoku, 24 yards.
Kalenomoku is the ideal route runner for the Clint Dolezel offense because he doesn't waste much motion. You see him there as he comes into the stop. That's the type of route that quite often receivers will over-anticipate when the football is going to come and show it early. But his shoulders are downfield the entire way and then presents a quick target to the quarterback.
Thomas in motion. Loft up to Thomas. And a touchdown, Philadelphia. 6 yards.
So Marco Thomas has physicality to the way he runs his routes because he actually has to run through contact there right in the middle, fights through Eddie Moulton, and that little move there, taking the outside shoulder and rubbing through, puts him in position. It's actually Josh Gatlin, who because of the formation ends up in the middle, able to power that outside shoulder through Gatlin and present a great target to Radabaugh.
Tommy Freeford ties the game at 14. Marco Thomas has 2 catches for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dan Radabaugh has been absolutely on point, and for Thomas, this one, touchdown number 18.
2 times so far in this ball game, the Soul have had the football 2 times. My MVP, Dan Radabaugh, has led him into the paint.
There's Jaws Ron Jaworski, now 11 years as kind of the face of the Philadelphia Soul, one of the faces of this league, the owner of the Philadelphia Soul, of course, former Philadelphia Eagles great, and a phenomenal NFL analyst as well on television, and Vince Neal, frontman of Motley Crue, part owner of the Outlaws in their first year as an expansion team in this AFL.
I'm impressed with our font there for Vince Neal as well, where it had the accents in Motley Crue.
Yes.
That, you know, all the folks who follow Motley Crue are expecting those accents there in the name.
That's right.
Well done.
Freeford. And that one through the slack net. And a touchback as the Outlaws get it for the 3rd time. Motley Crue, incidentally, in the middle of their final tour ever. And they have had to add dates. We're fortunate that he was able to make it here tonight. They've been all over the place around this country and around the world.
Vince said before the game, he literally traveled 24 consecutive hours to get here from, was it Australia? He was most recently in this week, to Atlantic City and be here for the ball game.
The party never stops when you're a rock star. I don't think he minds it.
Let's go!
Doesn't mind the play of his quarterback so far, Sean Brackett. Brackett, the only QB dressed for the Outlaws in this game. That's certainly key to pay attention to as the Soul pass rush starts to find ways to get home.
Tyson Poots in motion. Quick hitter near side. Jomo Wilson out near the 10.
Robinson stop.
There'll be a steady diet of quick passes, the now routes, swing passes. You would think some screens will continue to be in vogue as well.
Let's go wide to left, Indy. Let's go 50 double corner, X stop.
Yeah, come on. Come on. Hey.
We're good. Okay, let it go. What? Why are you coming over here?
They're going to let the clock run out. First quarter in the books. We'll have to wait till the 2nd quarter to hear that play.
Apparently Kevin Myers wanted to vote in the play call.
14-14. first ever Arena Football League Boardwalk Bowl. The Philadelphia Soul home team. And the Outlaws coming across the country. It's a good one so far. Start of the second quarter here in Atlantic City. The Soul playing a home game about 60 miles away from Philadelphia, and they have done one heck of a job of making this their home this weekend.
That was a life-size version of Soul nose guard Justin Lawrence we're looking at there. Slightly more inflated, perhaps. Good stance, I think, though. I'm impressed looking at it.
It's outstanding. 14 all. Fun to be in this building, Boardwalk Hall. First ever arena football game inside here, but obviously down through the years. There's been a lot of phenomenal concerts, shows. Miss America pageant. Since 1921, they've done that here. Tyson Poots in motion. First play, second quarter. Flipped out to Jomo Wilson. Escapes one tackler and out the 12-yard line here inside Boardwalk Hall, the Jersey Shore, Atlantic City.
There was a number of years where college football was somehow played within the confines of Boardwalk Hall as well. Pennsylvania Military College faced the Merchant Marines Academy for several seasons.
Wow.
They know their sports in Atlantic City. They do know their football. Back then, that game was known as the Boardwalk Bowl.
This is the first ever AFL version of it. Brackett with all day down the far side and undershot his man. Intended that time for Jason Willis.
Let's go. Left. Keep it left. Wide back. Fullback. Cross dive.
Here we go. Left, wide back. Fullback cross dive right. On one-on-one, right?
Keep fullback cross.
Yeah.
We'll see Brackett fake the ball to his fullback. Well, right. Coming across the formation, but you heard Aaron Garcia say keep it.
On fourth down, Brackett gets the first and more. Out to the 22. This guy's fun to watch, Sean Brackett. As a late penalty marker comes in right at the 20. They are now 2 for 2 on fourth down here in this first half of the Outlaws. If this one stands.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct. 8. 10 yards from them to run, first down.
That's Jake Metz. So tack on 10 more for the Outlaws.
Aaron Garcia told Sean Brackett to keep it because he is enamored with the athleticism of his rookie quarterback. I like the fact that Brackett protects himself. That's coming in towards the end of the play. We appreciate him chasing the football. I don't know. Had a hard time finding that penalty. Perhaps it happened after the cameras cut off.
Brackett sacked. Back in his own territory. Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson is getting a little long in the tooth, but he still knows how to get home. Had 2 sacks in their victory over the Tampa Bay Storm last week. They've started to move him around the lineup a bit more, especially last season. They played him on the nose on occasion. But he's been predominantly an edge rusher, and he's gotten stronger and stronger as the seasons continue.
That his 6th sack of the season. Second down, Brackett throws for the end zone. Undershot Wilson, who was unable to get his hands underneath it.
Well, I was looking for the reaction of Jomo Wilson just to see whether or not he would be convincing at the end of the snap. Brackett thought about running, then thought better of it, saw Wilson potentially open, but wasn't able to get the football all the way out to him. So you would certainly think the ball must have hit the ground because, yep, hands were split, ball bounces off the turf. That's why Jomo Wilson does not protest too much.
And the penalty at the other end of the Outlaws, a loss of down. And that's that touch. It was an illegal forward pass. He had crossed the line. That's that touch, though, that they're still working on with Brackett. He's got the cannon for an arm.
Aaron Garcia referenced it to us during the pregame, didn't he? That's the pinnacle part of Brackett's throwing arsenal that he wants him to improve. He's got the rocket ball. He can throw the back shoulder. Not great with the touch passes.
Illegal forward pass. Pushes it back to 3rd and 20. Pass caught. Nice grab. Climbing the ladder was Tyson Poots.
Who needs two hands when you're dealing with Tyson Poots? We haven't seen him make a reception with both of his mitts yet. You see him again, full extension. One hand on him. This ball was a frozen rope, but the strength in the hands, as I referenced earlier, of Tyson Poots, able to haul it in.
He played the first game and was outstanding, then missed 6 in a row with an injury. Came back last week. That kind of eased him back, only needed him a little bit in a blowout win as you look at some of his numbers from the past. I mean, he's been a phenomenal performer. They go for him in the end zone, and it's broken up by James Romaine. And the Soul get the football back.
This Philadelphia defense has come up with their first stop of the game. The rookie quarterback, Sean Brackett, had them off kilter with his athleticism, but a late throw into the end zone, and James Romaine, one of the best in the business, makes the stop.
14-all in the second. We check in down below with Steve Pappen.
Yeah, I'm here with Ron Jaworski, majority owner of the Soul. You know, you were very integral in getting this game here in Atlantic City, and I know it's something that you want to do throughout the course of each season. Is it something where you're going to pick Vegas, or is it something where you just want different teams to get the experience here?
We'd like to play Las Vegas again next year. We got a great crowd on hand. We're expanding our brand. The two gaming meccas in our country, Atlantic City and Las Vegas. Let's go out and play some ball. It's been a great game so far.
Yes, it has. Your team has been playing real well at the start of the season. I know it's a long season. You're only at the halfway point, but at 8-1, you're sitting pretty good. What has it been like since you lost some players and you've got new players in here, some young talent, and you're doing pretty well in a division where you're kind of out in front? How has that taken hold this season?
It's been terrific. Last year we were 9-9 a playoff team. We felt we needed to get younger and faster. We have. Clint Dozell, the coaching staff, and the players have made a 100% commitment to be a world championship football team. And they're working hard, they're working diligently, and the results are in the pudding. We're 8-1.
Well, Ron, everything that you've done with this team, bringing them here, having your team here has been great. Thank you. Appreciate everything you've done.
And the people in Atlantic City have been tremendous. I told them a moment ago, we will be back in Atlantic City with the DraftKings Boardwalk Bowl once again a year from now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, you heard that. They'll be back. Back to you.
Love it. And it's always fun to chat. I ran into him in the casino yesterday. Always fun to chat. His enthusiasm for this league is second to none. I mean, look at him. He can't sit down.
Both Ron Jaworski and the entire ownership group from the Soul, they're into this thing.
Rodabah guns it, caught. Kainamoku slips out of a tackle and dives forward down to the 15 and a pickup of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
SK, Kainamoku, one of Dozell's favorite wide receivers. Mentioned the ability to run routes, very strong after the catch as well. Somewhat of a slight built player, but you wouldn't know it by how difficult it is to be able to bring him down.
14-all, Rodabah 4 of 4, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, the offense has barely been out there. It's just their 6th play from scrimmage in the first half. And into double coverage, incomplete, intended that time for Ryan McDaniel.
There's been
Don't stop. You're all right. I hear you. I hear you.
Let's go left Tampa. Let's go 92 wing stick.
Here we go. Let's go left Tampa, okay? Left Tampa, 92 wing stick. Almost. You're off. Yeah. Off the ball, Lonnie. Off the ball.
Go, hunt.
On Philly's 7th offensive play, quick hitter incomplete. Dropped by Lonnie Outlaw, his first opportunity of the game.
Outlaw had a touchdown grab last week against Tampa Bay. He's got a big frame. But you have to be able to count, especially on younger receivers. That's an easy ball. Wouldn't have picked up a first down, but would have kept the offense in rhythm.
All right, let's go right wide back. 92 wide stick. Almost ready. Go time.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
Same play coming back, different formation. Motion to the bottom side, McDaniel.
Radabah guns it too high to the far boards, brings up 4th and 10. Intended again for Outlaw. 6'6", 217 from Miles College.
You saw there the coverage condense. Aaron Garcia told us before the game he wanted his defensive backs to be more aggressive, and especially on those hitch routes and shorter passes, to come up and start to punish wide receivers more so than they have.
Philly is 64% of the year on 4th down, 16 of 25, and that leads the league.
We won't see a QB draw from Dan Radabah here.
No. And movement all over the place for the end zone, broken up. So they're going to back it up and run it again. Replay 4th. They get half of it right there as Owosu jumped off.
Another rookie on the field for Aaron Garcia, especially on 4th down. You know that as they broke the defensive huddle, people are being reminded, watch the football. Don't go off sides. It's so key on 4th down to know that as you put your hand in the dirt.
So Ernest Owosu, who's filling in for Mark Wavoda at the nose guard slot. 4th and 5. Caught 1st down inside the 5. McDaniel. A gain of 9.
It's a lovely little route combination because Outlaw runs off the coverage and becomes a blocker without having to put much effort into it. He takes little out of the play, and then you know they count on Ryan McDaniel to catch the football in those big situations.
And Owosu is the one that unfortunately cost him the 5 yards to make it a shorter 4th down, and they convert, and now it's 1st and goal, Philadelphia. Handoff, right side, not much from Daverin Geralds.
This was a situation in last week's game where Joe Gooseby picked up those 3 rushing touchdowns. A lot of them were of the 1- and 2-yard plunge variety. But Geralds is athletic for being a bigger guy. Played his college football at Ole Miss.
Start down over here, okay? 1st down, guys, all right? Go left close. Watch quick mow over. 93, wide now. 1st down, ready. Good cut. Red.
You see the motion on the front side of the formation. Now route coming to the field.
Quick out, McDaniel knocked into the boards. No, stayed in the field of play somehow and picked up a yard or 2 down on the 1. Good body control by McDaniel to keep from touching the boards that time.
It's one of the more impressive parts about him because he's an angular guy in his build. Every bit of 6'3". He's very good in and out of his breaks. Now, after the catch, he's not as strong as what you see from Tyson Poots or Colin Taylor out with the Cleveland Gladiators, but he's got fight in him, and you see it every time he catches the football.
He's got 69 catches now in the year. That's 7 receptions for 61 yards and 2 scores last week.
It's a close formation. It's like a possible crack toss coming.
Handoff busted there. Right at the point of attack, and falling forward inside the 1 is Lonnie Outlaw. Brings up 4th and goal, and they're stopped by Ray Little.
Ray Little picked up a penalty early in the drive. You're going to watch him there coming, knifing into the backfield from the top side of the screen. He dissects the play, and that's precisely where he has to be as the field corner. It's a second opportunity for the Outlaws defense to come up with a 4th down stop to answer the soul.
Dolezal hoping they can punch it in on 4th and goal inside the 1. The motion man, McDaniel, bobbled, caught, and gets in or not. Philly says yes. Vegas says no, and the officials say no. And it's a goal line stand for the Outlaws.
How about that from the Las Vegas defense? Shot themselves in the foot earlier in the series, but able to answer the bell in a goal-to-go scenario.
4 plays from the 2-yard line and closer, and Philadelphia comes away empty.
And the initial bobble here is what may have cost it, because the ball was delivered out in front of McDaniel, but he didn't catch it cleanly, stutters the momentum, and that white tape that you see there is what essentially acts as the goal line.
And now the Outlaws bring their offense out. And get whistled for a penalty. Well, they can no longer look at it because a play has been run.
Well, it was a penalty on the play, though, so it hasn't been an official snap from scrimmage that's taken place.
True.
And now the red flag is on the field from Coach Clint Dolezal.
Well, that worked out okay. The Outlaws were in such a hurry, right. That's why you got the pre-snap penalty.
And almost like you see in collegiate football or in the National Football League, you don't see it as much in the AFL where teams feel a need to hurry up to beat the review process.
It's the arena football call to the booth. Dolezal is fortunate to get another look at this. Now, I got to be honest, this might very well be a touchdown. I thought originally it was.
There was no legal snap, therefore he can challenge the previous play of no touchdown.
Exactly what you said.
So now Joe Peaster will go over to the replay monitor. He'll talk to Brian Carter, our producer in the CBS Sports Network production truck. You'll hear everything that Joe Peaster has to say as he goes through this review process.
14-all deep in this first half. Philly just got their first stop, and now the Outlaws hoping they just got one.
Can you hear me? I can't hear him.
So that's Peaster trying to make contact with our truck.
Made contact with the wall and was out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Do we have a shot? Never mind. Coach Dolezal was calling. Go back to the previous play. He was also challenging that he called a timeout before the play. Let's go. Hey, Coach Dolezal was calling timeout before the ball was snapped. Can we go back to that? Yeah, but Coach Dolezal was calling timeout before the snap.
Top of your frame there is Dolezal in the background. He's going to hope, I think, that he didn't get the timeout.
No clock. Okay, right there. Okay, he signaled timeout before the ball snapped. So we need to grant them a timeout. It'll be 4th down and 1 at the goal line. All right, thank you.
And that's unfortunate, I think, because I think if you look at that, McDaniel's in for the touchdown. What a sequence here. In any case, he's going to get another crack at it, but now what are you going to do? It's easy from here to say, don't call that timeout.
That's quite a scenario right there. Either situation works out better for the Soul than the turnover on downs. It's definitely going to be close.
It's not best and it's not worst case scenario. It's right in the middle for the Soul.
There is no touchdown on the play. That was confirmed. But before the ball was snapped on the previous play on 4th down, Coach Dolezal was calling timeout before the snap. Therefore, they're charged with a timeout. They'll get 4th down. Philadelphia's ball, 4th down.
I don't know that they did actually confirm. that it wasn't a touchdown.
And let's have a look at it here, because the white tape on the wall is what's important. We, of course, know the Arena Football League field surrounded by the 4-foot-tall padded walls. And so Ryan McDaniel has to get beyond that stripe, that piece of tape that we'll see as he finally brings the football in. We mentioned the bobble there at the start of the play, so that kills a bit of momentum for him as he receives it. Bobble there. Once he pulls it in, let's slow it down. As he got towards the tape, that's where, if his knee was down beforehand or if his body touches out of bounds being collisioned by a defender before it's across that tape, that's the most important part of the ruling.
Okay, so 4th and goal again for Philadelphia, trying to punch it in a tie game. 4th down and goal coming up for the Philadelphia Soul. Aaron Garcia, head coach of the Outlaws on the left, trying to get his first defensive stop of the night after Philly just got their first defensive stop.
And so now a 3rd opportunity for the Outlaws defense to come up with a 4th down stop to answer the Philadelphia Soul stop from their defensive series a moment ago.
Philly has run 3 official plays from inside the 2 on this drive, and they've yet to punch it in. Here they are on 4th down and goal from inside the 1. McDaniel, the motion man. Rodabah slings it out, broken up. No markers down, and the Outlaws officially now have an offensive stand.
No markers down, no timeout signaled, no chance that the Philadelphia Soul scored a touchdown on this snap. It's a play that Clint Dozell loves to run. This that now route towards the outside. You're counting on 2 receivers to block. And you see the penetration. Eddie Moulton, one of the all-time greats, penetrates directly into the backfield immediately, throwing off the comfort and timing of that pass play.
There you go. Let's go.
So Sean Brackett, the rookie out of Columbia, making his first AFL start for the injured J.J. Roderick. Back on the field.
Go.
From inside his own 1. Throws it to Willis. Out across the 10 and some breathing room for Las Vegas. And a pickup of just shy of 10 yards.
Okay.
No, it's a first. They got 10.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Right, wide back. 51 pitch, wide poco. On 1-1.
The potential touchdown opportunity. The hitch route. But then the poco coming from Jason Willis.
Brackett goes deep over the top to Willis. Broken up by Romaine. You said he's one of the best in the business. We've seen it in this first half.
James Romaine having a career year. Jason Willis has the post or corner available to him. Decides to go with the post coming across the formation, and Romaine right in position as Brackett delivers the football deep. Broken up at the last moment. That's a great play. You're on an island there in the middle.
He's got the 6 interceptions, good for 2nd in the AFL. Out of Delaware State. Brackett with all day, lofts it up. Nothing doing this time. Richardson on defense for the Souls. We check in once again with Steve.
Well, I wanted to get, Pap, your thoughts just on having a rookie quarterback in the lineup. As a wide receiver, we've seen some missed deep balls here. Is it tough as a wideout when you haven't worked with a quarterback too often?
Yeah, it's the difference that they're having tonight is in practice you don't get bumped as much. You don't get as collided. You don't get touched as much. Where you come in the game, it's different. The speed is different. Now you got guys putting pressure on your face as you don't in practice because the quarterback's off limits. So he's just got to settle down a little bit. And I expect AD to go back to a little bit more of the 3-step and the screen game just to get him back in a rhythm.
It's an excellent point from Steve Pappen because we're seeing the deep ball being attacked here from the Outlaws.
Quick hitter to Willis, down the near boards. Picks up a nice chunk on 3rd. And a very manageable 4th down coming up when we come back as we've arrived at the 1-minute warning here in the first half. Ron Jaworski's Soul in a dogfight with Vegas, 14-all. a 4th and 4. Las Vegas 2 of 3 on 4th down so far tonight. Apologize for some technical difficulties. We're at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, the AFL on CBS Sports Network. 14-14 Vegas and Philly. And Sean Brackett, the rookie quarterback from Columbia. Philly wearing his college colors. And he's trying to take down the Soul in his first career AFL start tonight. He's got a 4th and 4 here.
Hurry up.
With a minute to play in the first half.
Go.
Sean Brackett back to throw. Guns it deep. Nothing doing. Intended for Willis. Romaine had him locked up. And a penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage.
Legal formation on the offense. Too many men in the backfield. That penalty is declined. The ball goes over on downs. Philadelphia's ball, first down.
So consecutive stops now. 2 in a row of the Philly defense. And they get it back with 55 seconds of the second quarter.
And honestly, Brent, it hasn't been the pass rush of Philadelphia that's affected Sean Brackett so much in this game, but the coverage from the secondary of the Soul, led by James Romaine, has really been able to blanket the wide receivers from Las Vegas.
There you go, stay wide, Marco, 5 yards.
So 8-1 Philadelphia. 2 weeks ago lost their first game of the year. And then they bounced back by taking down the Tampa Bay Storm last week, 71-27. As you look at Radabaugh, his numbers tonight, he's been on. This time he throws a fastball into row 3.
We're really seeing similar coverage from both secondaries of the teams, because now Las Vegas looking more single high, but still in a cloud sort of fashion, rolling the outside defensive backs, the corners, and starting to tighten up that coverage.
Raise right, 92, double slant, almost ready.
Ryan McDaniel will be in high motion, the double slant. You have a levels concept from both receivers outside in.
On the slant, it's dropped by Thomas. He was open at the 10. Radabaugh has missed on 6 of his last 7 after that hot start that we just alluded to. A couple of drops in there, though, as well.
Derek Clint Dozell say he was going to walk in. He really felt Marco Thomas was wide open on that play. Missed opportunity for Dan Radabaugh in the Soul offense.
There you go, let's go right swap.
1 of 7 after that 4-4 start.
Yeah.
3rd and 10 from the 17.
Go Hunt.
Radabaugh rifles it, caught. Thomas reaches for the first down stick. And I believe he got it.
And of course, here in the final minute, wide receivers don't need to be collisioned into the boards now that the 1-minute timing rules are at play. Saw the offensive line trying to cut down the hands of the edge rushers. That's what opens up the throwing lane for Dan Radabaugh to throw the football outside the numbers quickly.
Here you go, listen. Bunch left, Z inside. 53. Screen to R. Almost ready.
Now that we're here inside the 10-yard line, the throwing window's condensed. Screen pass coming to the wide side.
Radabaugh looking for the screen. It was blown up. Adam Smith, the tight end, the intended target, who's got Smith with 9 catches, 81 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's been a guy they like to go to in this area.
Well, Las Vegas had that scouted out well. They knew what to anticipate. The wide side of the field, Mike Lewis, the defensive end.
Here you go, guys. Hold your water on 2, okay? On 2. Raise left, 60. Here you go on 2, ready.
Vegas got a defensive stop last time. Their first of the game, looking for back-to-back stops. McDaniel in motion. Radabaugh lofts it up for McDaniel, and it's broken up. Penalty marker down. Defensively, Josh Catlin, the rookie out of North Dakota State, was there, and he's still down on his back. Now Gatlin's okay. He's up and walking, and we'll see what the penalty is.
Offside, 23 defense. Half the distance to the goal, replay second down.
And that's Terrence Carter, guilty that time.
Let's take a listen to that hard count.
Go hard.
That forces the flinch. And Terrence Carter off the edge. And as a defensive lineman, you must have your hands down, either one hand or you can be in a 4-point stance. But at the snap of the football, you have to have your hand in the dirt. We've seen the effective hard count multiple times in the first half here from Dan Rodabaugh. It's a 6th penalty on Las Vegas so far, 37 yards.
On second goal, Rodabaugh flings it into the front row. He had Mike Lewis in his lap, and he's not happy with his protection.
And this play, it's a difficult one to anticipate because you're going to let the edge rusher go at some point, but they have to block initially because it was a double move. Dan Rodabaugh trying to manipulate the defense with his eyes. I was surprised initially there was not some sort of intentional grounding being called. Now we see the officials coming in, making that ruling.
So you lose the down and the yardage, and it's 3rd and goal from back at the 13.
It's 4th down. I got you. It's a loss of down penalty.
It was stacking.
YSL plus wing post. Pick up, we're all right. Trips left, wide back. 50, YSL plus wing post, don't worry.
So the officials are going to step in here and make sure both down and distance are correct. I heard Dan Rodabaugh even trying to correct his coach Clint Dozell about which down it was.
And Dozell was clearly visibly angry, thinking his quarterback didn't know the down.
Come on.
In the end, Dozell was right. It is 3rd down, 3rd and goal.
Trips left, wide back, 50, YSL plus wing post, don't worry.
Tempers flaring a little bit on the Philadelphia side.
This is the calmer version of Clint Dozell, believe it or not.
So 3rd and goal, Rodabaugh steps up, end zone, and flipping over the wall, McDaniel attempting to make that catch.
Good?
That's the level of effort and tenacity you see. Snap in and snap out from Ryan McDaniel. Was not able to finish the season last year after rupturing his Achilles tendon. Quick healer though. Told me before the game he was back up and running within 5 months. Going airborne for the football.
Then he flings his wide receiver gloves in frustration. They're going to try a deep one. 38-yarder on a 4th down. Tommy Freevert, 3 of 5 with a long of 32. This one officially from 39. Right down the middle for Freevert. So Philadelphia tacks on 3 and takes a 17-14 lead and a marker down.
Flag will likely be on Kevin Myers. Came rushing in, attempting the block, the field goal attempt.
It's a 5-yard running into the kicker. That penalty is declined. The field goal is good.
Beg your pardon. So, yeah, the field goal is good. Beg your pardon, it was a 29-yard field goal. Nevertheless, right down the middle for Freevert.
There's Myers, respected offensive lineman, who's willing to put that effort in on defensive snap. I agree with the running into as opposed to the roughing call.
Coming up on the Arena Football Halftime Show, we look at the 2015 AFL Superlatives. Also have the first half highlights and stats all coming up in the Arena Football Halftime Show. You have picked out, Big Ant, your comeback of the year, game of the year, and a few other things.
It was difficult because there's been a lot of great moments through the first half of the Arena Football League season. There were some of those great moments that we're beginning in this game tonight as well for this Atlantic City crowd at the Boardwalk Bowl. The tempo, the pace of the game has slowed a bit as the defensives have started to bow their necks.
Freevert after a 29-yard field goal. First points for either side in this second quarter. Sends it away off the iron. Varner takes it, and Varner somehow escapes. Penalty marker down as he gets popped just shy of the 10.
I believe that'll be a violation of the 5-yard rule. The return man had not had an opportunity to field the football yet before the kickoff team was inside the 5.
Interference, violation of the 5-yard belt. It's a 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run, first down.
So tack on 5, the Outlaws offense. Down 17-14, 15 seconds left. For the latest news, scores, and stats, log on to arenafootball.com. Whether you want to check out special features on the league's brightest stars or watch live games via the ESPN3 video player, arenafootball.com is where it's at.
That multi-screen experience, Brent.
All right, yeah.
I got dragged into it, kicking and screaming, but now I can't do anything without it.
No, it's Brackett. Wilson the catch. Wilson knocked out inside the 15. 22-yard pickup.
Now, Sean Brackett was still a little bit late on this ball. He got away with it. But as Jomo Wilson makes that break towards the numbers, he's really expecting the football to already be there. During the days where Jomo Wilson was playing with the Jacksonville Sharks, where that guy, Aaron Garcia, was his quarterback, it was a different deal with the timing, but you understand a rookie making his first career start.
Brackett now 9 of 19. 11 seconds left. So 3 timeouts remaining for the Outlaws.
Go!
Brackett looking for Willis, who goes up, makes the catch, and scores. Touchdown, Jason Willis, 14 yards.
This is going to happen from time to time because it's arena football. Willis will come. He stutters right there for a moment, and it essentially ends up as a similar double move to where his first touchdown came from. James Romaine right in position, reacts well, but a little rise and grind action at the end of the snap from Willis. That's good coverage from Romaine.
Lacayo misses the extra point. Penalty markers down. Lacayo, the third kicker Aaron Garcia has used this season.
Illegal rush, 23, defensive back rushing. We'll go half the distance, retry.
Well, there you go. Nice break as Terrence Carter illegally rushed. All right, I beg your pardon. That was, who'd they get that? Larico Stevenson.
Larico Stevenson.
Yeah.
Has to be one of the down 4 linemen rushing on the PAT try.
So another try from closer. Ernesto Lacayo drills it. Las Vegas, 3-5, comes across the country to take on the 8-1 Philadelphia Soul, and they've taken a 21-17 lead. And Vince Neal has got to be happy that he traveled the 24 straight hours to get back for this arena football game.
It's interesting as we spoke to Garcia before the game, Outlaws head coach, because he said that he felt like his team had maybe struggled handling success early. They got out of the gates much quicker this season, did the Outlaws, than people anticipated. That 3-2 record had a huge upset right here on CBS Sports Network over the 3-time defending champion Arizona Rattlers. And so after they got to that point, then the expectations of ownership changed. The expectations of Outlaws Nation starts to change, where they're thinking, hey, are they going to blow people out every week? Is this going to be an Arena Bowl contending team? And it seems like tonight maybe a scenario here where expectations low for the Outlaws, and now we see them playing at a very high level against a team with the second best record in the AFL.
Well, how about this, to that point of inconsistency? In their wins, the Outlaws winning by an average of 3 touchdowns, and their losses losing by an average of 25 points per game. Part of being a first-year franchise. Romaine on the return. James Romaine still on his feet, reverses field, and Romaine is out across the 20 and still going. Romaine finally knocked into the boards in Outlaw territory.
That was a Steve Pappen don't blink type return from James Romaine. All he was missing was the touchdown.
Halftime, and Aaron Garcia is with Steve Pappen.
Coach Garcia, the play down there is something I've never seen in arena football. You've been around a lot longer than I have. What was your take on it? What was the explanation to you?
The explanation to me was that on camera they could see Clint Dozell trying to call timeout before the ball was snapped. But the referee never acknowledged the timeout. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no timeout. You know what I mean? Like in the last minute, the referees have to review everything. How are they going to pay attention to whether I'm calling a timeout or not? That doesn't make any sense. But hey, we're in Philly or Atlantic City. Ron Jaworski's here. That's what they do, I guess.
Okay. You've gotten your backup quarterback's come in the ball game. He's having pretty good, decent numbers for so far this evening. What will you do at halftime to kind of settle him down to keep this lead in the second half?
Man, I got to calm down. I'm on him. I'm on him. I'm on the referees. I'm on them, all them. We got one of our best players kicked out of the game, so we got to get everybody in there, get refocused. We're in this game. We're taking their best shot. Now we got to come out and finish.
Thanks, AG. Good luck in the second half.
Happy birthday.
He wanted to say happy birthday.
Soon see you. I love you.
All right, back to you guys.
That's right, and he has a baby due at any moment, a new boy. There's a lot going on here in Atlantic City tonight. It's only the second time Philadelphia has trailed at halftime this year. 21-17, halftime show next. (21-17) as the third quarter about set to begin. The 3-5 expansion Las Vegas Outlaws and the 8-1 American Conference leading Philadelphia Soul. Here at historic Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. First ever AFL Boardwalk Bowl and a home game for the Soul. Philly about 60 miles away from here. Been a fun weekend and a fun night, and Ron Jaworski says we will definitely be back to play inside this this old arena.
That was emphatic from Jaws. He was talking to Steve Pappen down at field level. Virtually guaranteed the return of the Philadelphia Soul to Atlantic City again. I actually had a couple of fans approach me at halftime up here from our perch above the field saying how much they've enjoyed the first half of action.
Steve is with Dan Rodabaugh.
Yeah, Dan, a little bit of struggles late in the first half. Early on, you had some success. What are you seeing out there that's causing maybe some problems with the secondary?
You know, they're well coached. They got a good player out there. Moten's a good vet, getting his guys in good spots, but we're hurting ourselves more than anything. We just got to go out there and execute. Right releases, line up right, you know, just play arena football. But, hey, credit to them, but we're going to come out and we got a good game plan.
What was the message at halftime? I heard Coach Dozell talking about finish. You left some plays out there defensively. Offensively, what's the mindset or the game plan going into the second half?
Well, you know, you can't get stopped. We got stopped 2 times too many in that half right there, so we just got to make sure we get 6 every time we touch it.
Thank you. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Steve thinks technically a stop and a half. Philly did get a field goal towards the end of the half. This is the second time they trailed at half this season. Down 21-17, they go on offense to begin the third, though, with James Romaine back deep, and he had an electrifying return. Didn't get to the end zone, but a lot of excitement to end that first half in the final play. Romaine takes it out across the 10, the 15. Romaine out near midfield. 31-yard return.
I respect the blocking in the return game there, especially from Lonnie Outlaw. He just had Tanner Varner handcuffed to the outside, and that's where that force-contained player, where Varner's lane was, didn't cover the kick.
Hey, together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together. Stay vert till they leave you, bud. Let's go bunch right, Z inside, 50 double post. I'm over it.
From right at midfield, Philly on offense to begin this second half.
We'll see it operating from outside in. Coverage will dictate.
Kalena Moku, the motion man. They go underneath, and it's caught. McDaniel, first down inside the 15, and a gain of 13.
Kalena Moku runs off the coverage with the initial post route. And so with the DBs dropping deeper with him, the second level of that double post, Ryan McDaniel. Let's take a look at Kalena Moku as he gets into the end zone. Potential touchdown opportunity there. Dan Roundabout didn't like the deep look, showed the patience.
Good to start in any case, even if he missed a touchdown. Good to start with a completion for Roundabout, who closed the first half by misfiring on 8 of his last 10 attempts. Here he goes for the end zone, guns it in to Lonnie Outlaw for the touchdown.
Outlaw had a drop earlier in the game, but we'll see him here in motion. He's had a couple of outstanding blocks during the second quarter, and so you never know what it'll be that'll get you going as a football player. For Lonnie Outlaw, as a young wide receiver in the AFL, he seems to play his best when he's able to use that big frame and be physical with defensive backs. Now that getting his route running going.
Second touchdown of the year for Outlaw. Freevert, who hit a 29-yard field goal first half, knocks in his third extra point of the night. 24-21 Soul.
Dan Roundabout says, Sean Brackett, you had a decent first half, kid, but if you want to throw touchdowns, I'm right there with you.
Dan Roundabout, 61 touchdown throws now. Leads the AFL, one better than Shane Austin of Cleveland. 24-21 Philadelphia, 3 or more passing touchdowns in every game for Dan Roundabout.
It was interesting because I sort of started before the game a big MVP sort of campaign for Roundabout. And his coach Clint Dozell said, this is really the Dan Roundabout I've seen for a few years now. Doesn't feel like his quarterback is playing that much better than he normally does. Onside kick attempt here from the Soul.
Here it is, and it's picked up by the Philadelphia Soul. It worked to perfection, and Jake Metz scoops it up.
The ability to steal a possession, certainly part of the equation of the thought process there for Clint Dozell. I believe in addition to that, just looking for the ability to jumpstart his team. The second quarter got a bit herky-jerky on the offensive side. Great kick off the right foot of Tommy Freevert.
Four of 14 now, the Soul. In their attempts to kick onside this season, Roundabout tries to screen, it works. Crossing midfield down to the 21 of the Outlaws is Sean Kalena Moku.
It's interesting, after recovering the onside kick, now Jake Metz getting some run at the fullback position. As we mentioned, Tommy Taggart was on Big Ant's Brute Squad last season. I named him that because I love the tenacity he plays with, one of the league's toughest fullbacks. He's out, so it's been a bit of a revolving door over the last couple of weeks, but that's worked well so far for Philly.
McDaniel, the high motion man, hand off to Metz, left side, pushes forward, almost to the first down marker, and a penalty flag down.
Holding, 19, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
And McDaniel whistled for holding.
Taking away the opportunity to carry there for Metz.
Relax. Second and long, man.
Daniel again using those long arms. I mean, and he had position on Tanner Varner where it really wasn't necessary to reach out and grab him like that. Now Gerald's back in the lineup at fullback.
55.
Go hot.
Radabah, Kaleinamoku, first down of the 15.
He just stops and settles so quickly. Radabah, pocket not completely clean, but the ball's already gone. And here Kaleinamoku, each of his routes look the same as he comes in high motion, and so it's very difficult even for an experienced defensive back like Eddie Moulton to be able to read what route may come. It's not because he's extremely fast. He's got enough speed to threaten defenders, but Kaleinamoku is able to make every route look similar.
Go ahead.
On first down, Radabah flips it out. And Lonnie Outlaw, the grab, gains a couple.
Quick rush close, 93, wing tail defense.
You're all right, buddy. First down again, okay? Trips left close. Close, 93, wing sails, E-slant. First down, Rich. Look hot, right? Rich.
But this will come from a tight formation. The sail route will work inside out, essentially working towards the corner.
Radabah overthrows Thomas, but this looks like pass interference. In coverage was Eddie Moulton.
Pass interference, 6, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
You asked Coach Garcia at the meeting this morning, one of the keys, he said we have to be physical with their receivers.
That type of physicality, yeah, that he's looking for. You certainly don't want the illegal contact from your defensive back in the end zone.
Let's go 60.
So first and goal. And Radabah
They go on 2. Hold your water,
is
guys. Hold
5 of 5 to begin the second half after closing the first half by missing on 8 of his final 10 attempts.
Go hot, hot.
Radabah floats it up too high. Too far in front of McDaniel, another marker in the end zone.
Or he was out of the stand.
Interference, 3, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
That penalty on the athletic Josh Gatlin. As McDaniel comes in motion, again, you see him there using that outside shoulder, trying to work through the attempted jam from Gatlin. There's a balance there as a defensive back where the receiver's in high motion. We saw it take place early in the game with Marco Thomas. Gatlin, you want to engage, but not over-engage.
Jake Metz tries to tuck it up inside, and not much there. Ball loose late, but they mark him down.
The all-time sack leader in Shippensburg history, Jake Metz, the rookie, now with his first career rushing attempt. As we referenced earlier, Joe Gooseby won every one of the major post-game awards for the Soul last week in their blowout over the Tampa Bay Storm. Now he's relegated just to jack duty. He's not getting any fullback time this week.
Gooseby did have the 3 rushing touchdowns last year, and then defensively 2 forced fumbles, a pick 6, and a blocked PAT that he took back for a score.
Final score of the game was 27-26. Joe Gooseby only lost by 1 to the Storm.
Touchdown! Lonnie Outlaw from Radabah.
There's no doubt that Lonnie Outlaw is physically gifted. Still inconsistent as a young football player, but getting more and more time in the lineup for the Soul.
Freevert makes it 14 unanswered to begin the second half for Philadelphia. Flag down.
And now that they've run out of flags, hats littering the field as well.
Fouls on the play. Illegal use of hands, 54. That penalty is declined. The try is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 19. That foul will be assessed on the first play after the kickoff.
So that's on McDaniel for Philly. That's the one that counts, and that will cost him. After the kickoff, midway third quarter, here at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Philadelphia, they're home away from home. Good start to the third. Outlaw goes up to get that score. .7:21 third quarter. Jaws enjoying the game, owner of the soul, and they lead by 10. Week 10 in the AFL. Orlando beat Cleveland on Friday night by 3 touchdowns. In the third quarter, the 9-0 SaberCats leading the Thunder by 18. Voodoo and Storm 7-all in the first. Rattlers and Shock later on tonight, and tomorrow night, the Sharks and the Kiss.
A game later tonight on ESPN2 between Arizona and Spokane. A couple of teams who are going to have new quarterbacks on the field, people who were not their opening day starters, and so the depth at that position being tested greatly around the Arena Football League.
Freevert sends it away. Varner takes it off the net. Varner spun down at the 6. Big hit. Metz was in there. So too is Dwayne Hollis. Timeout here in Atlantic City. Next Saturday night, 7 Eastern, we're in Florida for more arena football action. The Orlando Predators take on the Jacksonville Sharks at Seabest Field in Jacksonville. Tune in 7 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network. Top 2 teams in the South Division of the American Conference. The Preds 6-4 and the Sharks are 4-5.
That's a resurgent Jacksonville team. Started off with a very ugly losing streak at the start of the season, and they have come on as of late behind quarterback Tommy Grady and coach Les Moss.
Sean Brackett and the Outlaw offense on the field for the first time in the second half. Philly opened the third with a touchdown score. Then a successful onside kick. They were able to punch that one in. So they've run 7 plays. The Outlaws just now running their first. Sean Brackett calls his own number. And Brackett out across midfield.
It's an interesting little conundrum for Aaron Garcia, because you can certainly tell that running the football gets Sean Brackett going. And to a certain extent, you would think maybe gets his teammates going as well, especially when it's this effective. But Outlaws only have one quarterback dressed. And so if Sean Brackett were to take a big hit, has to leave the field, now you're in a difficult position of having to put what's likely a wide receiver in an emergency quarterback role.
Well, he's at over 13, make it 14 yards per carry. He's carried it 3 times for 43 yards tonight. As Brackett flips it out this time, Chomo Wilson into the boards after a gain of a couple.
It looks simple, but we saw it earlier in the half on the Ryan McDaniel play where they ended up ruling it not being a touchdown. But the ball, as the defensive lineman is getting up the field for the receiver, he's got to pick it up very quickly with his eyes. That can be a tough grab. That's why we see McDaniel and then Wilson there bobbling it a bit, because you got to pick it up visually so quickly in a very short distance.
Second down and 8. Willis, the motion man. Brackett looks his way, instead slings it end zone. Broken up and intercepted. Kent Richardson. Second pick of the season for number 1.
Holding 71 offense. That penalty is declined, and the result of the play, Philadelphia's ball, first down.
A disastrous start to the second half for the 3-5 Outlaws.
Well, we've seen Sean Brackett throw the football into traffic a couple of times during the game tonight. He's gotten away with it up to this point, but the former NFL talent in Kent Richardson, former AFL DB of the year, makes him pay this time.
13th pick of the season for the Soul, and for Kent Richardson, last week he had a fumble recovery and a pick 6, and he gets his second interception of the season right here.
The ball came out extremely flat from the right arm of Sean Brackett. You could tell that Clinton Solomon was anticipating the ability to go back shoulder, and Ron Jaworski anticipating some celebration after that huge play from Kent Richardson. Richardson was with the Cleveland Browns just 2 seasons ago after leading the Arena Football League during the previous season with 14 interceptions. Very talented player, and it speaks to the talent of the Soul secondary that Richardson is not the player playing that middle position, really the featured and most focused on defensive back.
5 eligible, 55.
Philadelphia back on offense. 3rd time this quarter. They've scored 2 touchdowns already. And Kalena-Moku with some open space and a first down pickup.
Well, we've got the mics on the quarterbacks at field level. We can hear Dan Rodenbach. He voiced a bit of frustration during the play because it looked like Sean Kalena-Moku was looking to get tackled. He caught the football with plenty of space and opportunity. He kind of covered up.
Right in the 50, wide choice, wing curl on 3. Amigos.
4:20 in the 3rd. Kalena-Moku with his 5th catch.
Go hot.
Rodenbach over the middle, marker down, ball loose, incomplete. Dropped that time by Thomas.
You get the sense this is the point in the ball game from the Outlaws' perspective. Someone from their defense needs to step forward and make a play.
Illegal formation, 23 defense. Out of the snaps, at the snap. It is putting Vegas into the bonus, automatic first down.
That bonus, meaning the 3rd different offsides infraction in this half by the Las Vegas Outlaws. So now, as opposed to a 5-yard penalty, it is a 10-yard penalty on their defensive line.
First down from the 24. Thomas, the high motion man. Rodenbach rifles it. Thomas inside the 5.
Pass caught by Thomas. For another
A pickup of 22 from Marco Thomas.
You rarely see Dan Rodenbach really step into a throw, but he did on the previous snap. Ball had a few more RPMs behind it than we normally see off the right arm of the Soul QB. Another nice sail concept here. As Thomas rolls out, ball's right on his hip.
Eight for 8 to begin the second half for Rodenbach. Make it 9 for 9. Touchdown, Thomas.
Josh Gatlin might be the most confused player on the field right now, because that athleticism that his coach Aaron Garcia continues to talk about, it's thwarted a bit once they get in the red zone because there's not the makeup space and the distance there. Quick decisions have to be made.
Grevert off to the right. His first miss of the night. It's 37-21 deep in this third quarter. Marco Thomas, 5 catches, 84 yards, 3 scores this evening.
Outstanding numbers for Thomas on the season. It's been a bit of frustration from his coach Clint Dozell at different points, but the playmaking ability rules all.
Be sure to check out arenafootball.com for all the latest news and info on the Arena Football League. While you're there, be sure to shop the AFL Team Fan Shop, the latest team gear. Check out arenafootball.com tonight. And we check in down below with Steve.
Yeah, guys, you know, talking to Dan Rodabaugh and Clint Dozell at halftime, they were talking about they left too many plays out there, some drop balls, things of that nature. And one thing that the coach was really upset about was the protection of Rodabaugh. He's been protected very well here in the second half. He hasn't had an incomplete pass, and I think that's the success that they're having in the second half is being able to protect him, allowing him to see his receivers down the field.
Thanks to Steve. Kickoff. The Outlaws have to get something going on this drive, and this is a good start. Return out across the 20. Finally spun down near midfield. 31 yards for Ray Little.
With no Gerald Young in the lineup, we've seen a couple of different players. Tanner Varner and now Ray Little. In position to make some plays here in the return game. While Gerald Young has been the most electric return man in the AFL so far this season. He's got some teammates now that he's out with an injury, picking up the slack.
I was disappointed not to see Young tonight. He averages 22.2 yards on his returns, and he's taken back 2 for touchdowns this year. Near boards, caught, back, shoulder, throw, no. He dropped it incomplete, intended for Solomon.
To look at what Sean Brackett was hoping to do on the interception that he threw in the end zone on the previous series. Ken Richardson got him there. It's just an unfortunate drop there from Clinton Solomon. You rarely see that through his hands. A player that's hoping to be targeted more within this offense. The quarterback play has been inconsistent.
Well, he's a guy, Solomon, that's been frustrated lately, not getting the football enough. Obviously, it's cliche, but when it does come your way, you got to make those catches. Wilson, the motion man. Brackett. Solomon the grab this time. Penalty marker down. He's at the 24 of Philadelphia. Gain of 1.
Illegal formation, 55, offense. Fullback lined up in the neutral zone. It's a 5-yard penalty, second down. Correction. Philadelphia declines that penalty, third down.
Dozell gets it declined. Lamatre was the guilty party, so 5 yards is what it costs him. I should say they declined it, so third down.
They ended up calling the penalty on Nair Almatri. It's really on the fullback, Will Wright, lining up too tight to line of scrimmage, violating the second neutral zone.
So Brackett on third down and 9, sings it incomplete, too low. Intended for Willis. You like the Iowa flavor, don't you, on this Outlaw team? Solomon from Iowa, Amatre from Iowa as well.
It's good to be able to have a vertical vantage point. Some of the other Hawkeyes on the field here tonight. Looks like Aaron Garcia is taking out the red challenge flag. He believes that was a reception.
Time expires in the third, but
or the end of the quarter. Las Vegas is challenging that the pass was caught.
They will challenge it. If it is incomplete, we got a 4th and 9 coming up to start the 4th. But Garcia felt like that catch was made, and we will have a call to the booth.
See both teams huddling up at this point with the anticipation that the 4th quarter is about to begin. They don't realize the call to the booth is on the way as Aaron Garcia has thrown the challenge flag. get another listen to Joe Peaster as he goes over to speak to our production truck.
All right, the ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. The ball hit the ground before the receiver hit the pass. Let's see what we have for video evidence on that. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Not close, huh?
And Joe Peaster could tell very quickly.
After review, the ruling on the field was confirmed of an incomplete pass. The ball skipped the turf before it got into the receiver's hands. Las Vegas is charged a timeout. Clock operator, please put 2 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds.
So they put 2 seconds on. We'll have one more play. It'll be a 4th down play for the Outlaws. One more play here in the third. Well, now he calls in a quarter. There you go. End of 3. 4th down upcoming for Aaron Garcia's team. You're watching Arena Football on CBS Sports Network. Back here in Atlantic City, the Boardwalk Bowl. 37-21 Philly the lead, outscoring Vegas 20-0 in the third after trailing 21-17 at halftime.
Well, we knew coming in that Dan Rodabaugh and the Philadelphia offense had another gear that we weren't seeing in the first half. We'll see whether or not Sean Brackett can take his game to another level.
Rodabaugh was on point in that third. 9 of 9, 90 yards. 2 of 5 for Brackett, and now he gets intercepted. Romaine with his 7th of the season. And this disastrous second half for Las Vegas spills into the 4th quarter.
This is a defense that continues to find ways to get their hands on the football. Week after week, we're seeing interceptions, forced fumbles. It's a sole defense. It's like the Bumpus Hounds, Brent. They just pick up all the table scraps. Just like we saw in A Christmas Story. They take them, and they try to take them the distance once they get it. Romaine, again, like a thief in the night.
So he gets his first interception tonight. He's got 3 pass breakups and 5 tackles. And now he's tied with Ken Fontenette of the SaberCats. The league lead both with 7. Rodabaugh to McDaniel. He gets cut down inside the 10 after a gain of 13.
The play of Dan Rodabaugh and the way Clint Dozell calls the game can frustrate the opposing pass rush because of the 3-step, because of the screen passes, the now routes that take you out of your game because you get used to snap after snap where there's not time to get home and pressure the quarterback. We see it week in and week out where opponents face Philadelphia. It was the same way Clint Dozell was when he played the quarterback position where the pass rush starts to bog down.
Rodabaugh for Thomas. Touchdown.
Another teardrop from the right arm of Dan Rodabaugh. He's got the full arsenal of passes on display.
Freevert, point after good. 44-21 Philly. Rodabaugh in this half, 11 of 11, 4 touchdowns. Thomas for the game, 6 receptions, 92 yards, and he's got 4 scores. First ever Arena Football League Boardwalk Bowl in Atlantic City. A home game for the Soul. Inside historic Boardwalk Hall. And Ron Jaworski's team has been phenomenal in this second half.
They're sitting with one of his partners in the ownership group, Marty Judge. Camaraderie at an all-time high when you're leading by 23.
They were down by 4 at halftime. They've outscored Las Vegas 27-0 in this second half. A nice return by Ray Little out near midfield for the Outlaws. Tonight, 10 Eastern, ESPN2, the Arizona Rattlers and the Spokane Shock. Our cohorts, Ari Wolf, Cedric Bonner, Randy Gatewood on the call from Spokane.
Game will have some interesting storylines in it, especially at QB. Nick Davila still hasn't returned to the lineup yet for the reigning champions, the Rattlers. They're primed for the taking if you're talking about the Spokane Shock. Warren Smith has played extremely well through 4 weeks at quarterback for them.
The Rattlers, the back-to-back 3 in a row. Marina Bowl champs, 6-2 to begin the night. And the Shock 3-5. Quick hitter drops by Wilson.
Well, we showed it at halftime, Brent. Just a few weeks ago, Orlando came back from 21 points down. So this 23-point lead, still much earlier in the fourth than Orlando mounted their comeback versus Tampa Bay right here on CBS Sports Network. There's still an opportunity, but rookie quarterback, does he recognize that in his mind? Does he realize intangibly that there's still an opportunity to turn the tide of this ball game?
From the 21, second down, Brackett dumps it off. And a huge run down to the 10-yard line. And a pickup of 18 for Nairi Imatre.
It's a good play call because you know the pass rush has blood in their fingertips. Imatre not usually a big part of the passing game here for the Outlaws, but not sure what you got at the fullback position. They've already had the touchdown completion there early. Use that tight end slip.
Their starting tight end Terrence Campbell got ejected in the first half for the end zone. Brackett, touchdown. Clinton Solomon from 11 yards out. And he beat Richardson that time.
Well, Solomon ends up making his way into the end zone. Let's keep an eye on Kent Richardson. We had the interception just 2 series ago, but he looks into the backfield first, and then his eyes lose the ball in flight, trying to track it there in the end zone. Only so much time once the offense approaches the red zone there.
So the point you were making right before that touchdown, this game is not over just yet.
No doubt about it. The fourth quarter in the Arena Football League has all types of lunacy on the way.
The first AFL Power Poll of the year is out. SaberCats 9-0, the Soul the number 2 team, and the Outlaws down there at number 9. But there are those SaberCats. They're about to go 10-0 with 5.5 left in the fourth. They got a 54-36 lead as we speak on the Portland Thunder. So they look to be headed to 10-0, and they lead the league in turnover margin. They lead the league in sacks with 25. That was before tonight. And they lead the AFL in both scoring offense and scoring defense as well.
That's a lot of categories to be leading the league in. Probably the deepest team in the AFL when you're talking about the San Jose SaberCats, and now they've had Eric Meyer return to the lineup at quarterback, and he had a career day, threw for over 400 yards last week in his return to the lineup, and their 9th victory of the season.
How about tonight? The game's not over yet, but he's already thrown for 233 and 7 touchdowns tonight, as Romaine again electrifying on the return. This won't go down. And along those lines with the SaberCats, as we show you the current scores tonight, Reggie Gray right now has 14 catches for $135 and 5 touchdowns. They lead 54-36 late in the game. Preds already beat the Gladiators. Voodoo and Storm tied at 21 in the second. Rattlers and Shock on ESPN2 later on tonight. And then tomorrow night, the Sharks and the Kiss.
I'll tell you what, the New Orleans Voodoo, probably the scrappiest team this season in the Arena Football League. Their head coach, Dean Kokinos, has had his team showing up week in and week out, ready to play strong football.
Down the near boards, intended for Thomas. A little bit too tall for him and a little bit behind him as well. And that is the first miss by Radabah this half. He's now 11 of 12 since halftime.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if Clint Dozell was giving him an earful because of it. That's just the nature of their relationship. These two people, Dozell and Radabah, they've been together since Dan entered the Arena Football League back in 2010, the Dallas Vigilantes.
Go.
Radabah floats it up. Kalenomoku. Good coverage that time. Busting it loose was Eddie Moten. So 2 misses in a row for Radabah.
Still got it mic'd up. Let's hear him with his coach, Clint Dozell.
Let's go left. Let's go 50 stack.
There you go, Marco. Go 15 yards, all right? Stay on 2, okay? Left, 50 stack on 2, ready.
Still hear them continuing to remind Marco Thomas of the route combinations, especially the depth. It's so key in the Clint Dozell offense, the depth and timing.
Penalty marker. Over the middle, it's caught McDaniel. This should be a free one. Looked like interference right at the line of scrimmage on the defense. A gain of 13.
With flags on the field.
Side defense, number 6. That penalty is declined. Resulting play, first down.
Beg your pardon, it's Moten offsides.
I still like it in you, though, Eddie Moten, because at some point as a defensive back, you've got to put your hands on somebody. Marco Thomas got nowhere near the 15-yard depth that Dan Radabah was anticipating. Defensive backs like Eddie Moten, like Cleveland Thomas, who's still playing with the San Jose SaberCats, they know that receivers need to feel you in different points. Every once in a while, you'll take an L just to be graded out as a plus-minus because the jam he put on Thomas was unreal.
Garcia wanted physicality tonight, unfortunately. 9 penalties now, and here's a 10th. Probably. Radabah went down.
Illegal formation, 54, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that's Jabari Fletcher, 10th penalty tonight on the Outlaws.
Fletcher playing nose tonight with Mark Wivoda out of the lineup. There's been a lot of mixing and matching, not just with the defensive front, but at the wide receiver position in the secondary. Aaron Garcia has had a lot of quick lessons to learn in his first time as a head coach in the AFL. This team has had a lot of penalties they picked up tonight.
10 for 57 yards.
Go on.
Radabah for the end zone. Thomas in the corner. He hauls it in.
The perfect imperfections of a talented wide receiver still learning the playbook like Marco Thomas, but to see the speed to burn, the ability to go up and get the football, the willingness to run into the boards to make the play.
Thomas with a career high 5 touchdowns, tying his career high.
The reigning Cutters Receiver of the Year in the Arena Football League. Nearly 2,000 receiving yards last season for Marco Thomas.
And Freeford knocks it through. 51-28 with 6 to play in the 4th. all Philadelphia.
Dan Radaba with the go long, throw long action. Downfield to Marco Thomas. He knows he got one. Radaba feeling it tonight in AC.
Marcus Colston, star receiver in the NFL for the Saints, Super Bowl champ in 09. The Saints all-time leader in receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and total receptions, and a minority owner of the Soul enjoying this one tonight.
Watching the career of Marcus Colston in the National Football League has been entertaining. But one of the things that he's focused on, especially in helping to promote this event, what he went through in seeing New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, the Boardwalk Bowl here is part of what they're hoping will help revitalize Atlantic City. And we know what this area went through with Hurricane Sandy.
How about Colston? 161 catches in his first 2 seasons.
Is that all?
7th round pick out of Hofstra in 06. And a solid return here by Ray Little. And Colston is standing by with Steve.
Yeah, I'm here with Marcus Colston, the minority owner here of the Philadelphia Soul. And, you know, you got to New Orleans a year after Hurricane Katrina. The thing that New Jersey went through with Hurricane Sandy, you know, you guys bringing this bowl here into Atlantic City. What has that meant to you, and why was the purpose of getting it here?
It was definitely really important, just knowing the impact that sports can have on a community. I've seen it firsthand, and it's, you know, just one small piece in the right direction. And, you know, we're just honored to be a part of it, and, you know, just a really great event.
Well, I'm sure the people here in Atlantic City are excited and happy you're here as well. And, you know, talking to Ron earlier, he was talking about coming here every year and doing things of that nature. Is there any talk of maybe doing something like this maybe in another city for other, you know, getting your team involved with another city and another team doing this?
Well, I'll tell you what, just seeing the warm welcome that we got here, and you know, the great event that we were able to put on today with, you know, the city coming out and supporting, I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be on the table. So it was definitely a really good experience to be a part of, and, you know, we would look forward to being back here, and, you know, we'll see what happens in other cities.
Great to hear. Thank you so much. And if you guys play the Broncos this year, take it easy on them, please.
No promises.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Steve. Good to see Marcus out here tonight. I'd like to see him in uniform for this final 5 minutes and see what he could do.
Go! Fortunately, his team doesn't need the help, but maybe you go over and help out the Outlaws.
Cut over the middle. His team, I mean, how about the Saints and Outlaws uniforms?
Oh, yeah.
Identical. Almost. Yeah, see, he wants to get in the action a little bit.
Two very different types of wide receiver down there. Steve Pappen, one of the all-time greats in the AFL. Not really because he was a guy who was 6'6", had the long, rangy frame as Marcus Colston does.
Final 4 minutes of this one. Philadelphia up 51-28, complete domination by the Soul. Here in the second half, they trailed by 4 at the break. Sean Brackett on 2nd 17. Deep, fires it, caught, Wilson, and Jomo Wilson in for the touchdown. 43 yards.
Don't count them out yet. There's just enough time remaining. If Sean Brackett in his first career start is just silly enough to think there's a chance, we've seen it time and time again in the AFL. It's a good, accurate pass hitting Jomo Wilson right in stride.
And Lacayo knocks it in, 51-35 with 3:18 remaining. And Wilson now 6 catches for 113 in his first touchdown of the night.
Just a 16-point game.
2 possessions.
2 scores, yeah, exactly. We're going to see some onside kicks coming here from the Las Vegas Outlaws. If they can steal a couple of possessions. Nice release off the line of scrimmage from Wilson. Able to outrun James Romaine to get to the end zone. Well, you anticipate the struggles at different points for Sean Brackett. He's thrown the football to the other team a couple of times. But the willingness to fight back into this contest, these are the types of teachable moments for Aaron Garcia as a head coach, not just specific strategy, but the intangibles that can be gained here from Brackett by playing well towards the end of a game that could have gotten out of hand.
Vegas, 3 of 7 on onside kicks this season. 3:16 left. It's a 2-score game, 16-point deficit for Vegas. Trying to get to 4 and 5. Philly trying to close it out, get to 9 and 1. Lacayo, big high hop, and it bounces deep. Philly easily recovers with the 6'6" Lonnie Outlaw.
I really don't mind what they tried to execute there. It didn't work out. I mean, it's an oblong football. You never know exactly where it's going to bounce. But as opposed to lining up completely to one side of the field, going with the straight high hop, you try to high hop it towards the middle over this front line of the return team. The ball hits the turf, and there is an opportunity there if the coverage team was able to get through clean and attempt to field it, and especially if the ball took some sort of an odd bounce after it got beyond the return team. Just didn't work out, but conceptually, I like what I saw.
Kalena Moku in motion. A grab over the middle. Snagged out of the air by Thomas out near midfield as the clock runs with 2.5 to play and a gain of 8.
Marco Thomas did a good job covering the football up as the defense came in, trying to engage him to make the tackle. That's the mentality of what Las Vegas has to be in for their defense. They've got to pursue the football right now, come in, trying to get strips, taking it away.
Come on, fire off, Neil. All right, on one, okay? Trips right, 34 pop. On one, Rick. Hurry up.
Talking to Neil Tivis, regard to the field side, wanting him to fire out, allow the run lane.
Hang on, Dave, got a boy.
Gerald's gains a couple. 1:49 to play. 3 timeouts left for each team.
It's still imperfect, as you can tell, for the Philadelphia Soul offense, which is why these two individuals still have their moments of frustration during game time. Alignment of wide receivers, assignment for the offensive line. The fact that they've been this potent throughout the season offensively, but have so many moments in game where people aren't on the same page, it's kind of scary to think about the ceiling for the Soul.
Over the middle, it's zipped and broken up. Kalena Moku made the catch. Las Vegas falls on it. And the Outlaws get it back. What a hit. Varner and Little. And Varner was the man that busted it open.
Pursuit is the hallmark of almost every great defensive play. Tanner Varner, who's been as good as anyone in prime time on national television throughout his career, comes up with another huge play for the Las Vegas Outlaws.
Varner, 52 tackles, one of the best in the league, and now he puts the Vegas offense back on the field at the 1-minute warning. Varner with a huge play to keep hope alive in a 2-score game here in Atlantic City. GT Racing action heats up tomorrow on CBS Sports Network as the Pirelli World Challenge heads to Michigan for the Chevrolet Detroit Belle Isle Grand Prix. Action starts at noon right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Big-time Soul fans right there hoping that their team can hold on to this 16-point lead with 1 minute to play.
Well, we're used to seeing the Soul Sisters join Ron Jaworski at the games quite often. I don't think that's them. They didn't have their habit on.
Come on, New Jersey, show me what you got.
Brackett caught. Wilson out across the 20.
That's a good ball.
And only 5 seconds went off the clock.
That's a good ball from Sean Brackett. It had velocity on it, but it was on time. Most importantly, accuracy and timing are the most important parts of quarterback play in the AFL. That ball can be completed as often as any.
Let's go 52, fullback seam, tight end spin right.
Left, seam back. 52, fullback seam, tight end spin right.
They're anticipating the pass rush will have that blood in their fingertips, looking for the quarterback and tight end to potentially break open.
And Talib came.
Hold on.
So move it back to the 17. First and 15. 12 penalties now on the Outlaws tonight. Brackett over the middle, it's caught. Rumbling inside the 15 is Will Wright, who scored a touchdown early in this game.
Las Vegas calls timeout. Their second, 30 seconds.
This leaks right out of the backfield, running up the seam. Outstanding grab from Will Wright. Going back shoulder, one hand on the football. Showing a level of skill, certainly beyond his position. So timeout necessary there for Vegas because the 1-minute timing rules didn't affect the Will Wright play because he landed inbounds.
Because of a challenge that failed earlier, that was a burn timeout for Vegas. They just burned one there, so one left now for the Outlaws. 46 seconds remaining. Trying to pull it out of the fire. Brackett, end zone, broken up by Romaine.
Sean Brackett still climbs the pocket like an athlete as opposed to climbing the pocket like a quarterback. He goes vertical in the pocket, showing the run threat, but he ends up holding the football a stride longer than he needs to, as opposed to staying in his throwing platform while he climbs vertically. That made the ball come out late.
Boots in motion. Brackett over the middle, caught. Wilson, touchdown. With 34 seconds left, the clock stops at a 14-yard score, and it's a 10-point game.
Don't go home, Boardwalk Hall. If you left, you better come back in. This game has still got some juice in it, people. Wilson just runs the drag route. You'll see him coming in from the outside. Takes a bit of patience, but the pass protection holds up soundly. And Brackett standing tall in the pocket, throwing it to Jomo.
So now the 2-point conversion to make this a 1-score game with 35 seconds. Clinton Solomon lines up in the backfield. Go! Wilson in motion. Toss. Solomon reaches. And he is short.
I'll tell you what, Clinton Solomon has got really long arms. He's 6'4". He reached the football out.
Field is that the 2-point conversion was good.
They called it good.
So there was no signal from the official at field level.
I never saw a signal. Well, there it is.
It was just out of our vantage point. There's a lot of big people surrounding him.
Well, that is huge that he gets to there. Solomon, what an effort to reach out, to get it across, and it's a 1-score game at 51-43.
Clinton Solomon in high school spent some time as a quarterback. Well, you would think maybe there was a run-pass option available on this snap, but buries his nose into the jerseys of the Philadelphia Soul and just barely able to nick the goal line. Now, any review that takes place has to come from the supervisor of officials on site, and actually the red flag did just come onto the field to play. In the final minute of each half, the coaches can't challenge, but the official on the field has done so.
The field was the two-point conversion was good. Here's the replay.
I'll tell you, this, you think it's going to get overturned?
It's very close, and there will have to be indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field, and so they have ruled it as a completed two-point conversion. To clear the Outlaws players out of there as they're preparing for the onside
Okay,
kick.
the ruling on the field was that he crossed the plane of the goal line with the football before being down. Let's see what we have. Okay. If we don't have a sideline view, I can't really confirm. He is stretching with the ball. He's stretching with the ball. Let's, do you have something from up top?
Here's our best from up top.
I'm going to say the call on the field stands. That's called touchdown.
Wow. There you go. And that, you know, you said it has to be
After
indisputable.
review, the ruling on the field of a two-point conversion being good is stands.
So that's the right call. 51-43.
You hear the verbiage there from Joe Peaster. If he said it was confirmed, it would have been because he felt like there was 100% a definitive view. Don't have that, especially here in Boardwalk Halls, different configurations. Arena football's never been played here. Call on the field stands, there's not an angle available. And remembering, of course, they called it good in live action, and so the line judge did feel it was in live.
So here comes Ernesto Lacayo with an onside kick. They failed on the last one. Can he come up with a big hop this time? Looks good. In the air, Outlaw. What a snag by Outlaw to get Philadelphia possession of the football.
I earlier referenced that the physicality of Lonnie Outlaw got his game going. That was from blocking at the wide receiver position on snaps from scrimmage and also on special teams plays. Here, showing the frame, the hands, and now another look at a physical play, being able to bring the football in and maintain possession while getting hit. It's a great play from a rookie in a big spot.
Still not over 33 seconds. One timeout remaining for the Outlaws. Dan Rodabah in the second half, 15 of 17. He's thrown 5 touchdowns. Puts it on the ground here and a gain of a couple, and the Outlaws burn their final timeout with 29
Las
seconds.
Vegas, their third, 30 seconds.
It was fun taking a quick moment at halftime, talking to some of the Philadelphia fans who traveled down in the way they were attempting to educate some of the Atlantic City fans who really hadn't seen arena football before. And so this scenario where the offense leading at this point in the game has to gain positive yardage for the clock to continue to move. So there's no knees that are being taken in the Arena Football League. That's why the Soul are continuing to run plays.
Las Vegas is out of timeout. 2nd and 8, 29 seconds.
Philadelphia,
Now
their
Philly,
first, 30 seconds.
Philly calls their first. Why do you call a timeout here?
If they broke the huddle in the wrong formation, perhaps. I mean, it had to be a mental error that was about to take place. That's the only reason to call a timeout.
Take the ball. We need 1 inch. I don't need anything else but 1 inch. I got it. Hey, go, bro. We need the ball.
Hey, same call. Listen to me. Hey, listen, huddle. Hey, right wide back. 35 zone. First time. Ready? Hey, listen from my count. Don't jump on their shit. Yeah.
So you got to move it forward. Philly trying to put the finishing touches on their 9th win.
Ball game.
And that should do it. A handoff to Joe Gooseby. Vegas can't stop the clock. Clint Dolzell's Philadelphia Soul, 9-1. With a 51-43 victory here tonight in Atlantic City.
Las Vegas Outlaws 43. And that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen.
The San Jose SaberCats have beaten Portland 61-42. So the SaberCats now 10-0. But this Philly team is now 9-1. Top team in the American.
Doesn't look like they plan to slow down anytime soon. Ron Jaworski's Soul Squad. There's still going to be teachable moments in the game here from the finish. Philadelphia allowed Vegas back into the contest.
Jaws and Vince Neal. Good game, good comeback by Vegas late to make it interesting.
Don't leave, don't blink during an arena football game.
That's what we love. They outscored Philly 22-7 over the final 10 minutes, but come up 8 points short as we check in with Steve.
There is
Yeah, I'm here with the winning quarterback, Dan Rodabaugh. You went into halftime trailing a little bit. You came out, you were 9 for 9 in that third quarter. You outscored them 20-0. What were the adjustments that you went over into halftime?
You know, our last two drives there in the first half, we kind of got out of sync. We were doing some uncharacteristic things. We came in at halftime, said, hey, everyone take a chill pill, relax, do your job, take the right release, catch the ball when it's there, make the right read, make the right throw, play as a unit, get everyone doing their eighth. And when that happens in arena football, it's normally good things.
Yeah, and you guys played absolutely well tonight. After a big win last week against Tampa Bay, scoring 70 points or more, and then struggling a little bit early here with a Vegas team that was game, what will you look forward to in the following weeks? Do you take this as a game of we became together as a men instead of getting the blowout, or do you look at it as we just played bad?
I think you got to look at it both ways. You got to eliminate the poor things, and then you got to, take advantage of the things you do well and get better at them. But hey, I'm proud of my guys for fighting hard, and we don't care if we win by 1 or 100. We're out here just trying to do that and win, play for our fans, and play for each other.
Well, you've had a great season so far in the midpoint. Keep it up. Good luck next week.
All right, boss.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Philly, 51-43. They win the game here at the first ever AFL Boardwalk Bowl in Atlantic City. Philly's 9-1, the Outlaws 3-6. For Anthony Herron, Steve Pappen, and our entire CBS crew, I'm Brett Stover. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Tune in next Saturday, 7 Eastern, for the Orlando Predators and the Jacksonville Sharks. So long from the Boardwalk.